So now that we know what resolutions we're going to be targeting for our devices, I wanted to give you a look at what we're going to be building. Okay. So I kind of came up with this. I thought this would be a cool website and a cool design to put together. This is going to be a website for a fictitious, like those fun houses or those, those carnival houses of horror, this kind of thing, right? So one of these house of horror attractions. And this is the layout that you and I are going to be building. Okay, so now what's interesting to note here is this is going to be one of the 3 layouts that you and I are going to be building. This is our high resolution version of our layout. Okay, now here's the medium resolution or the tablet version of what you and I are going to be building. If I just compress down the width of my browser window here, this is the tablet version. So notice we have some content shifting around and moving, right? Specifically these 3 content boxes here. And we have our content down beneath that, right? Now, if I expand and contract this guy, notice we have some scaling content, some scaling graphics. Other material inside our layout is shifting around, okay? That's what responsive design is all about. And then the third layout that you and I are going to be building is going to be for mobile devices, and it's going to look something like this. Okay, so again, we have content that's resizing and shifting and moving around. And if you noticed, that large graphic that we had, which is actually a placeholder for a slideshow, he actually disappears. Okay, so I wanted to give you an example of having some content actually disappear or not be a part of one or several of our layouts that we're going to be building. Okay, so there you go. So there's the low, there's the medium, and then if I crank out my browser window super wide, give me a second here to pull this all the way out. There we go. I'll just refresh. There we go. There's the high resolution or the desktop version of our design. Pretty cool stuff. I hope you're up for it. It's going to be a little bit of work. The process that we're going to run through, I got thinking about how I wanted to put all this together, and what I've decided to do is I wanted to give you as close to a real-world experience as possible. So how this is going to work is we're going to be making use of a variety of tools. We're going to start inside Adobe Illustrator, where you and I are going to wireframe out all 3 media queries, all 3 devices, all 3 layouts, okay? The idea being that we want our customer, our client, or perhaps our boss to sign off, to give us approval on this wireframe mockup that we've created for each of the resolutions that we're targeting. Then what we'll do is we'll take those rough wireframe mockups and we'll apply design to them inside Photoshop. And that's where things really come to life, okay? That's where we're going to be applying fonts and colors and graphics and all that great stuff. Then what we'll do is we'll take what we had created inside Photoshop and we'll rebuild it using HTML and CSS. And specifically, we'll be setting up our 3 media queries inside our external CSS file. So it's a whole lot of fun, okay? So there you go. There's a look at what we're trying to build, what we're trying to achieve, and exactly how we're going to be pulling it off.